All right, guys, we just solved this puzzle on my last video, but this video is to go through the Easter eggs from the solve of this puzzle. So if you're looking for the solve of this puzzle completely, go to the last video and check it out there. If you're looking for the Easter eggs, you've come to the right place. So make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment as soon as you watch what's coming up right now. Now that we've solved the main goal of Castle Emberlock, which was to find the gold, we found it here, and with it came this message on two sides. So the first side was congratulating us for solving the puzzle, for getting the gold, but this second side here has a different set of clues, which read, "Deep in the halls of Emberlock's keep, 3 crystals lie in a shadowed sleep. Hidden so well only lost souls know, for none were meant to find their glow. The crown is the clue that you must reap." When we solved Castle Emberlock, we actually found the first of these crystals, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of get what we're looking for. And I put it back into the puzzle so we can look at it or find it again today. The first thing here is that we look at this, it says there's 3 crystals. So we know there's 3 different crystals, and then we know that the crown is the clue that we must use to find the first crystal. Now that's pretty obvious for me now, because that's how I found it the first time, was in this step here, where we pulled out this little compartment to get one of these rods here that when I emailed Benno, he actually called these magic wands with these little tools, these little rods. One of them came from in here. And when you open it, you can see that there is indeed a crown right there. And so that crown is our first clue. Now, what I found out was, even though I could get it out the window here, that had the rod in there before, when I was fooling around, I noticed that if I push on this again while I'm pulling it, it comes out a little bit further. Now, why that means anything to me was because I was looking at this little cutout right here, which it's hard to see. Maybe you can see it right there. It's like a little triangle, upside down triangle. And this little cutout, I thought that has to be some sort of compartment, and I didn't know about the crystals at the time. When I pulled this out, I said that must unlock that. So I was looking around to see how in the world we're going to get that out, and I noticed right there, there is a little brick that if you push on that brick, right there, see that? It actually pushes in like a little button and starts to push out our little compartment here, which indeed has our crystal. And so our first crystal, here's a little blue looking crystal, looks like a rupee from the Legend of Zelda. At least, yeah, for most of those Zelda rupees. The blue one, I cannot remember. I think that's, let me guess. Let's see, the green ones is 1, the blue ones I think is 5. I want to say 5 rupees, maybe 10, no, maybe 20, I don't know. I'll put that right here. Anyhow, so then we also see that there's an M and an R here. Now I should say that I went ahead and I found all the crystals. So this is not like a live finding of them. This is more like of a tutorial of how to find the crystals after you've solved the puzzle. But I found the M and the R here, and those were 2 runes that, if you remember from when we were solving Castle Emberlock, if we open up our logs here, these were the runes that were on this little spinny disc mechanism that you can see in this window right here. And so right now you can see that it's actually, when I twisted it around, what I did was I actually put it, since the crystal was between, literally in this compartment between M and R here, I actually left the spinny disc, if you can see, between the 2 runes M and R. And when I did that, there's actually another brick right there under the window, that if you push that brick, and you can only push it, I'm going to use this tool, but when you push it, you can only push it when it's between those 2 runes, and you can hear that it is opening something magnetic, being magnetically closed, but you can see it opens this right here, which is our second crystal, which is a green crystal, which is backwards because this one, green in the Legend of Zelda, is only worth 1 rupee. And I know this isn't the Legend of Zelda, but it's one of my favorite video games of all time, so I'm gonna stick with it. We got blue rupees, green rupees, and then we can see another clue here. Let me get this a little closer. So that took me a while to figure out because I don't know what that means. But what I figured out was when I was looking at this, I figured, because what I found earlier in the puzzle was that there's a little section here that looks like it wants to open. And it actually, when you try to open it, it looks like it's pushing this little drawer open, which is pretty plainly some sort of secret room. But the real question was, what does this mean? So as I was thinking, I actually remembered that there's this piece of the puzzle here that looks kind of like that with a little cutout on the side. And interestingly, these two little bars that come out the side match these magnets. So I can take these two magnets here and stick them on the ends like that, and it ends up looking like this figure. And this part took me a while, and I actually had to get some nudges from Benno because I was trying to, I basically figured that this is going to be used in some way to open this compartment here, but I could not figure where I needed to place these magnets. I was trying on the bottom here, and you can hear, I'm not sure if you can hear that, but there's a little bit of click that happens there. But then he more or less said, look under the stairs, and I had tried this, but this takes a little bit of practice because what we need to do is we need to basically pry open with our fingers this little crack right here and to pull this drawer open while we're actually moving some sort of magnetic mechanism. Hear that? So we got to move that. So if you put it in the middle right there and you bring it to the back of the puzzle, let me see if I can get my finger there. There we go. Okay. So it takes a few tries, but if you keep this flat and you keep this flat on the ground, it's just above where you basically have to drag it from the middle there to the end without getting it stuck on this magnet here. And then this little drawer pops out. And there's a little piece of paper in there that you can pull out, along with our last gem. And this last gem is purple, which I think is 50 rupees in Zelda. And this paper, and I gotta say, of this whole puzzle experience, it has been a delight, such great details. This is the only letdown, is that it's a piece of paper. And then that's me being super picky because this puzzle was uber terrific. But it would have been cool for to be like a little parchment piece or something like that. Anyways, it says, to the keeper of Emberlock, fearless and bright, who conquered each puzzle and saw through the night. The doors have opened, the paths are clear, but one last challenge lingers near. For closing each vault is a test anew. Will every secret stay hidden from view? For secrets kept are treasures true, and Emberlock now belongs to you. And that, I think, is referring to now we have to reset the puzzle. If you want to see a full solve of the puzzle, aside from finding the gems, and you want to see a kind of a review on my thoughts about the puzzle, go to the previous video where you can watch those. You can either watch the whole video, which I'd love you to do, or you can fast forward to the end where I talk about my thoughts on the puzzle as a whole. So I'll leave it at that. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave comments, guys. It really helps the channel and I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye for now.